This time back, I happened to catch the lilacs in bloom. So I thought it would be nice to have tea with everyone today. Another year has passed. Last year, we gathered here for the lilac tea ceremony. Time truly flies. Our tea ceremony has also reached a higher level. Last year, it was at a beginner's level. This year, it has progressed to the intermediate level. We've been working on this level for some time, but this is the first time we're presenting it in such a formal manner. And it's also my first time participating. Just now, we've had 3 cups of tea. During this period, we actually reviewed the 3rd step from the beginner's 7 steps to mindful tea. Originally, it was called boiling water and listening to the tea, correct? Later, I renamed it boiling water and observing the mind. Now, it should be brewing tea and observing the mind. Within the intermediate level tea ceremony, this step has been beautifully interpreted. As we brewed tea, I wonder, were you observing your own mind, or were you just waiting for something else to happen? During that time, everyone sat quietly here. There was no show, nothing we anticipated. Or you could say, the show hasn't started yet. The tea is brewing over there. Have you all had a taste? The object of focus is actually very subtle in this process. Our object of focus remains soft and delicate. We are simply sitting here, just sitting. Although we are not doing anything, the mind that does nothing is still functioning. We can feel the vastness of heaven and earth and sense the breath of spring. We are not just like a lifeless piece of wood. Rather, we possess a perceptive mind. Neither are we like clay or wooden bodhisattva statues, but bodhisattvas endowed with perception. Therefore, we can perceive all things in the universe and sense their revival. At the same time, we can hear the sound of tea brewing. All of this is clearly and vividly known to us. Meanwhile, we can also feel our own mind. What is the state of our mind at this very moment? Is there anxiety, anticipation, or curiosity? Are we bored, idle, or perhaps very calm and happy? It doesn't matter what state it is. We don't need to force our mind into any particular condition. There are no demands, expectations, or preconceptions. What do we need to do? Simply be clearly aware of everything here and now. Be aware, no dwell, like the universe, the sky and the earth, so vast and boundless. At the same time, they are also without contrivance. Everything exists naturally as it is. At this very moment, when our mind has no particular focal point, we can feel the vastness of the mind. When we talk about mindfulness meditation, we speak of cultivating 2 abilities. One is concentration, and the other is awareness. When drinking tea, we drink it with full attention. As we drink tea, we remain clearly aware of the process. This clarity itself is a lucid power that inherently exists within our mind. Of course, mindfulness meditation involves intentional efforts, while no-thought meditation requires letting go of both the object of focus and intentional effort. Letting go of focused objects means that our mind does not need to have a focus during the meditation, and it doesn't need to concentrate on a single point either. Just be fully aware of everything happening now. Be aware of everything unfolding in nature and within ourselves. Simply knowing is enough. In no-thought meditation, a key feature is see the nature of thoughts and realize their emptiness. Once you recognize a thought, it returns to the ocean of awareness, just as all waves are essentially water. The power of awareness resides within each of us, because we inherently possess a clear and pure mind, like a crystal clear lake or a bright mirror. This mirror-like mind can know everything distinctly. This power is not attained through an uncontrived mind. Of course, at the very beginning, we must cultivate and unlock awareness. As we progress from intermediate to advanced meditation, we need to develop awareness at the beginner and intermediate levels, while at the advanced level, we let go of awareness and experience no thought. This mind of no thought is our present clear and uncontrived mind. We sit here, drinking tea, brewing tea, observing the mind. Actually, we don't need to do anything. At this very moment of practice, there is actually nothing we need to do. Thus, there are two levels of practice, one with effort and one without. One involves contrivance, the other is uncontrived. The effortless, uncontrived practice is about experiencing the clear mind that is inherently complete. It requires nothing from us. The contrived practice corresponds to the beginner and intermediate stages of mindfulness practice. We need to engage in contrived practice because when this clear and pure mind hasn't yet manifested, we live in deluded consciousness and ignorance. We need to confront dullness and distraction. Within this torrent of samsaric habits, we cannot escape. This torrent of cyclic habits obscures our pure mind, keeping us trapped within their flow. Hence, we need to exert effort. That's why Chan masters ask, what is there to cultivate? To recognize this true mind, we actually don't need to do anything. But to break through habitual patterns, there are indeed things we must do. That's why Buddha taught 84,000 Dharma methods, as well as precepts, concentration, and wisdom. Among these, the key is the process of mindfulness practice. We need to free ourselves from the torrent of habits. For this, we still need some effort. Just like when we are doing sitting meditation, the soreness, the endless thoughts, and the dullness are all mental states manifested by our delusive minds. So, in mindfulness practice, we cultivate concentration through samatha and vipassana. Samatha calms the mind, while vipassana unlocks the power of observation and awareness. Our mind gradually settles, and our inner, clear, pure mind arises. Then we slowly experience the inner clarity without contrivance, sometimes with specific favorable conditions. The delusive mind can also become empty. Just like today's tea gathering, we sit here quietly and peacefully, doing nothing, pursuing nothing. At last year's Mid-Autumn Tea Ceremony, I told everyone that we need to experience the uncontrived ability of the mind, the ability to remain effortless, to do nothing. Doing nothing isn't easy. Non-doing is actually unconditioned. In Buddhism, we speak of the concepts of conditioned and unconditioned. What is conditioned? You have learned treatise on the 100 dharmas, where the first 94 are conditioned dharmas, and the last 6 are unconditioned dharmas. What is conditioned? Conditioned means contrived or fabricated. Unconditioned means uncontrived or unfabricated. We need to experience this uncontrived mind. Some people may think, I must make my mind completely uncontrived, with no thoughts. But we can't control the mind like that. Can you stop thoughts just because you want to? Of course not. That's not the point anyway. First of all, we do not deliberately do anything. What we truly need to experience is this uncontrived mind. Meditation allows us to experience this uncontrived mind. On one hand, we do not contrive. On the other hand, we can experience this uncontrived mind. Yet, we are not a piece of wood. We still have cyclic habits, and contriving is inevitable. Our thoughts may wander. Does it matter? Well, yes and no. It matters because it means you're following the thoughts. You've fallen into it. You're caught up in the thoughts. That does matter. Or you might resist and dislike the thoughts. Therefore, in Chan Buddhism, it teaches us neither to accept nor to resist. Mindfulness meditation teaches non-judgment. The ultimate way is not hard. Only discrimination makes it hard. If you label a thought good or bad, that is not correct. When the thought arises, we just recognize it. As I said, see the nature of thoughts and realize their emptiness. As long as we maintain awareness, every thought has two aspects, clarity and ignorance. Both parts exist. When we are trapped in habits of samsara, every thought will become a favorable condition of samsara. If we carry awareness, we can immediately bring each thought back to the ocean of awakening. The essence of thoughts is awareness. They never depart from it. So, it doesn't matter if thoughts arise. We abide in this uncontrived mind, a mind empty, clear, and tranquil. Emptiness is characterized by a void-like mind. The Surangama Sutra tells us how vast and boundless our mind is. It says the space created in our mind is like a wisp of cloud. So you can imagine how vast and boundless our true mind is. When we are not caught up in thoughts, we experience a mind as vast as the void. Once we fall into the thoughts, those thoughts become our whole world. A single thought is our entire world. So, we should experience the emptiness aspect of the mind. Meanwhile, we must realize its clarity. Clarity means being vividly aware of everything. Even while just sitting here, doing nothing, we are clearly aware of everything. We clearly perceive all external and internal movements and stillness. Abiding in this non-dual mind of emptiness and clarity, our mind remains tranquil. Sometimes, tranquility doesn't necessarily mean no thoughts arise. Even if thoughts appear, if we abide in this empty and clear mind, the mind stays tranquil. The vast sky does not hinder white clouds. Likewise, clouds drifting across the sky do not disturb its emptiness. Similarly, when we settle in this empty and clear mind, thoughts will not affect us at all. Mindfulness meditation and no-thought meditation can actually be integrated. For beginners, we focus on mindfulness meditation while also learning some no-thought meditation. For instance, we focus on a specific object of focus. When we feel tired from concentration, we can release the object. When we let go of the object and settle in awareness and clarity, the mind will not be distracted. If you slip into ignorance, you will become scattered, because focusing on a single point for too long can be exhausting. After a while, we can let go of the object and the effort. It's like organizing an important event where we spend a lot of time and energy feeling tense and anxious. Then, once it's over, how do you feel then? You'll feel relaxed and unburdened. You feel entirely relaxed instantly. There's a joy in that relaxation. Similarly, if we do things with attachment, it feels as if we're bound in place, leaving us exhausted. Once the task is done, we've liberated ourselves from that attachment, and suddenly our mind relaxes. So, relaxation is also crucial in meditation. What exactly needs to be relaxed? In essence, what do we aim to address with our practice? The most critical ones are two types of attachments: to the self and to the external world. We hold many ideas, assumptions, and expectations about the world, and similarly about ourselves. We have many thoughts, assumptions, expectations, and attachments. Essentially, everyone lives in their own assumptions, attachments, and thoughts. Therefore, relaxation means letting go, completely releasing these attachments. When they are fully released, the mind returns to its original state. Finishing a task and experiencing relaxation brings joy and happiness. Where does this joy come from? It arises from within our own life. As we practice mindfulness, we can also learn the practice of non-thought. Sometimes we can put aside the object of focus and simply feel, experiencing everything happening both outside and within through a sense of awareness. Sometimes we do nothing at all, just sit there doing absolutely nothing. With a clear and pure mind, we feel everything that is happening in the present moment. This method leads us into non-thought practice. Yet, without a foundation in meditation, our mind may become scattered with thick clouds of ignorance. Without an anchor, the mind drifts into chaos, random thoughts, and boredom, causing various problems. Thus, we need to establish a strong mindfulness foundation, then properly experience the mind of no thought in meditation. As we advance, the power of emptiness and clarity in our mind grows stronger, and thoughts diminish. And then we can practice no-thought meditation more extensively. Using tea as a theme for meditation is a fine tradition in Buddhism. We find records about it in Chan literature, such as the Compendium of the Five Lamps and the record of pointing at the moon, as well as in Vinaya rules for monastic discipline. Our research found two types of tea meditation. One is informal, the other is formal. The former has no fixed ritual that Chan masters simply guide students through tea drinking at any time. Like Zhao Zhou's "Go drink tea," just a single phrase, "Go drink tea," just like calling all of you to go drink tea. It's not about identifying the tea type, rock tea or pu'er, nor about judging its quality or price. That's not the point. Actually, it's about experiencing the mind that can drink tea. What mind is that? The key is to recognize the pure mind in the present moment, the pure mind that tastes tea. If you truly appreciate this cup of tea, the entire Tripitaka and its 12 divisions are all there, so it can be profound or simple. Then, we also mentioned the formal approach that adheres to the monastic regulations and ceremonies. In monastic communities, drinking tea is a part of daily life for Chan practitioners and also a way to connect with the public. Of course, practice is not just about drinking tea. Our current mindfulness journal aims to bring Chan into daily life so we can truly experience it. Walking is Chan, sitting is Chan, in speech, silence, movement, and stillness. One is always at ease. Chan is not a form, but a way of using the mind. To go further, it is about what kind of mind you employ. It is the mind of Chan. Then, what is the mind of Chan? It is the pure, clear, and uncontrived mind here and now. Each of us inherently possesses this mind. All we need to do is to recognize it and become familiar with it, not only through drinking tea, but in all aspects of daily life. Of course, we must begin with mindfulness meditation and keep a mindfulness journal. Just start doing it honestly and sincerely. What I just talked about is actually not far from us. As long as you put in the effort to experience this pure, clear, and uncontrived mind will not be far away.